What's going on, guys? My name is Tommy. Welcome back to the channel. Time for another episode of the Ancestry Anthology. Today, the Kayal. If you're liking what you're seeing, remember to like, subscribe, ding the bell. Stay caught up on all your stuff. Now let's dive in. Okie dokie. So yeah, as you might have already guessed, we definitely talked about this race in first edition. Follow this card right up here. The Kayal, also known as the Fetchling, which is an Aklo-derived word with a meaning akin to shadow people, and as we slide on down to the bottom of the flavor text, we see the Kayal reject the term that folks on the material plane have given them, yet that name does not get the top billing. Fetchling does, only again the Azarketi getting the prestigious role that I continue to scratch my head about. Used to be Aslanti, a very, very long time ago. During that cataclysmic space fish kill everyone event known as Earthfall, a small group of Aslanti pleaded to whatever god would hear them for rescue. They were heard by a demigod from the Shadow Plane known as the Widow, who rent open a portal to the Plane of Shadow, gave all the Aslanti there a free ride, and over time, they mutated into this race. Humans with monochrome complexions, glowing eyes, and the casting of supernatural shadows. Of course, over time, because the Plane of Shadow, not a really fun place to live, a big survival mentality has been drilled into the Kayal, sort of like the Drow Sepno Demon Lord influence, I suppose. But this does lead their societies to be very insular. Eventually, over time, as all denizens make their way across the various planes, the Kayal make their way back to the material plane for as many diverse reasons as any other planar traveler might have. Which I love about this ancestry. You could do whatever. Why did you come from the Plane of Shadow to here? There's a myriad number of reasons. Anywhere from I didn't want to get consumed by super scary monsters to I wanted to explore the ruins of my ancient ancestors and all the way back again. But mechanically, the Kayal has 8 hit points, is a medium creature with a base speed of 25 feet. Gets an ability boost to dexterity with 1 freebie and no drawback. Definitely thought we'd see the dex chaw free minus what? Strength? It was strength or whiz, one or the other. But I'll take this too. I really like the ones that don't have drawbacks because it mechanically makes the Kayal better suited for almost anything without that like, ah, damn, I have a drawback to this stat that I also need for my weird out of left field concept. And most things want dex, maybe not your heavy armor characters, but you get what I mean. They begin play speaking Common, Shadow Tongue, additional languages for positive int, and have dark vision, as you might have guessed. For their heritages, the Bright Fetchling might have eyes that glow a little too bright, veins that occasionally pulse with light, emits dim light within 5 feet, is a little tiny baby torch. You can activate or suppress this with an action with the Concentrate trait. Also, you can force fragments of your shadow to glow and cast Dancing Light and Light as occult innate cantrips. The Deep Fetchling gets cold or negative resistance equal to half their level, chosen when you gain their heritage, might have a really slow pulse, might cast a very dense shadow, might just like sitting in the corner where it's nice and dark. Stop judging them, don't look at me. The Liminal Fetchling gains a +1 circumstance bonus to locate undetected creatures within 60 feet when using the Seek action. Their flat check to target concealed creatures is 3 instead of 5, and their flat check to target undetected creatures is 9 instead of 11, having an affinity with creatures that live in shadow, hiding in shadow. The Resolute Fetchling gets a crit success on will saves. When they roll a success on a saving throw against an emotion effect, they get a crit success instead, because they've probably seen worse in the Shadow Plane. Who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of the adventure? The Kayal knows. And lastly, the Wisp Fetchling is slighter, more agile, and is small instead of medium. Gets trained in acrobatics, gets quick squeeze, gets a +1 circumstance to acrobatics checks to tumble through, could function as a reflavored Wyang for now. For our ancestry feats, Fetchling lore gets you trained in occultism and stealth, and Shadow Plane lore and other things as well if you happen to have already had one of those. Hard to Fool, a +1 circumstance bonus on perception checks against illusions, as well as the will shaves against illusion and shadow effects. Because again, seen it all before, back home, which was much, much scarier than whatever sad street magic you're throwing. Shadow Blending as a reaction. If a creature attempts a flat check to target you while you're concealed or hidden due to dim light or darkness, you increase the DC of the flat check by 2. pulling straight from their best ability in 1E. Making it a reaction hurts it a little, but probably makes it more balanced, so okay, sure, fine. Certainly you would need to do this before the results are revealed, but adding a couple more to something that doesn't often see modifiers seems strong to me. Shrouded Magic lets you get 1 cantrip from the occult spell list as an innate spell at will. Shrouded Mien gets you trained in Deception or another skill if you already had it. And you get Lengthy Diversion, has a bonus skill feat. Slink lets you move 5 feet farther when you take the sneak action up to your speed. As long as you continue to use sneak actions and succeed at your stealth check, you do not become observed if you end a sneak action in dim light or darkness, as long as you have cover or greater cover or are concealed at the end of your turn. Which is almost the Shadow Dancer's Hide in Plain Sight from 1E. Almost. Drop down behind a fallen log in a forest sometime in the middle of the afternoon when it's already dim light there. This is playable. This is very, very playable. Next, Clever Shadow. This allows you to perform simple interact actions with your shadow, such as opening an unlocked door. That's cool. Of course you can. Why wouldn't you? Anything your shadow interacts with must be within your reach. Your shadow can't perform actions that require significant manual dexterity, including any action that would require a check to accomplish, and you can't use it to hold items, but it's Shadow Prehensile Tail. That's neat. I like that. Best flavor text ever. The shadow comes up over the shoulder of the very, very pale human, pulls back the crossbow to reload it. Tasty. Kayal Gunslinger also sounds good by that logic. I digress. Extinguish Light for 2 actions. Once every 10 minutes, you wrap shadow around a single unattended light source within 120 feet. That's about the size of a torch. No larger, though. Any non-magical light source you target is automatically extinguished. For magical light sources, attempt a counteract check using either your fort or thievery against the target's DC. Okay, not bad. That has a very wide range of things. Most martials will want a good con, most rogues will want a good thievery. Your counteract level is equal to half your level rounded up. Successfully counteracting light source suppresses its ability to produce light for a minute. If you're in dim light or darkness when you extinguish light, its range is 240 feet. Very, very far away. Why'd that light go out all of a sudden? Who knows? We literally have no idea because we can't find the person who did it. Maybe, oh maybe someone can occultism and be like, Kayal present, uh-oh. Something tells me the average guard probably isn't going to know that though. That's... I tried to whistle like 4 times there. I have snake bites. It's hard to whistle with things stuck in your lip. It's real good is what I'm getting at. Lightless Liveness is a hard and fun combination of words to pronounce. When you critically fail to squeeze, you get a fail instead. When you roll a success to escape, you get a crit success instead. If you roll a crit success, you can step instead of striding up to 5 feet. Victory from the jaws of the creature trying to swallow you and eat you alive. Tight. Shadowy Disguise lets you get a first level illusory disguise once per day with the Shadow trait.
Who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men? The shadow knows.
Man, I really want to make the shadow in 2E. Hefting Shadow lets your shadow contain objects. Your shadow becomes a portable hole. I'm dead. What? You can interact with your shadow to store or retrieve objects, just like you would a mundane container, meaning you spend 2 interact actions to store and retrieve. Your shadow can contain 2 bulk of objects, which don't count towards the bulk you're carrying. They remain solid, but take on a shadowy patina when stored in this way. Though the items are in your shadow and can be detected normally, you gain a +2 circumstance bonus to stealth checks to hide them. What the fuck? So is it like sneak into some dude's house? What's 2 bulk? I don't know. His wallet is probably less than 2 bulk. You jack his wallet, put it in your shadow. Your shadow pantomimes putting the wallet in their back pocket, but like the wallet is being dragged in the shadow, or like very clearly, hey, wait a minute, that's a wallet. Whoa, that's mine. I will fight you. That's really unique and interesting flavor text, and I really like it because that could go almost any way. Sculpt Shadows for 3 actions. Costs you a hit point, but coaxes nearby shadows into the shape of a simple weapon or simple tool or item, using a tiny piece of you to make it solid. You can create only level 0 common non-consumable weapons or adventuring gear with no intricate parts, written text, or other complicated things, The item lasts until used for a single activity, until you sculpt shadows again, or for a minute, whichever comes first. Once the duration expires, the object dissipates, you get the hit point back. You can make whatever frickin' tool you need for whatever situation again. What? Oh my god. I don't know how to make this better. I'm sold. This is the next 2E species I'm playing. Hands down. Shadow Sight gives you greater dark vision for a minute, once per hour for an action. Hard to compete with everything else, but yeah, sure, alright. Shadow's Assault lets you cast Shadow Blast as a 5th level occult innate once per day. It's heightened to 6th and 17th. Yeah, alright, hard to compete with everything else. Skirt the Light lets you cast Shadow Walk once per day, which means you and all of your friends get on the highway to pass the bad guy enemy army and, what's an on-CR creature? I suppose an Interlocutor Velstrak. Maybe we'd rather fight the army of guards than Mr. We have so much to show you, but cool spell is still cool. Pierce the Light lets you cast Plane Shift twice in a 7-day period as an occult innate spell that can only target yourself, and you can only go to the material or shadow plane, so would like it if you could do more than target only yourself. Gonna have to miss that one. But holy crap, this race has so much sneaky utility. Wait until nighttime. Extinguish a torch. People start panicking. People try to figure out where you are. Then you, dear like Kayal Ranger, who has way too many traps all over the place, can kite them into the minefield. To say nothing of the sheer utility and power of like, okay, gonna be very over encumbered, but we need this 2 bulk MacGuffin. Hold up, y'all. Let me put it in my literal shadow, which can interact while you're using your 2 hands for something else. Would you rather keep both hands on your Shadow Great Axe, which you conjured up for some reason because you really wanted a Great Axe? I don't know. You do you, boo. But still need to open that door? Boom. There it is. Is there a chasm on the other side of the door? At the cost of 1 HP, here's a rope. Is that door locked? At the cost of 1 HP, here's a crowbar. A skeleton key? No. Dumb. Crowbar. Break that shit down. Did you get captured by someone because you broke their door down and they're angry about it? At the cost of 1 HP, here's something you can use to murder them and get your stuff back. That's, wow. Holy freaking crap. And you can basically do whatever from the backstory. Shadow Absalom is a thing. My guess is you go there in a couple of the PFS scenarios. My heart of hearts harkens back to like the best DLC of all time. Neverwinter Nights 2, Mask of the Betrayer, and the time you had to spend in Shadow Mulsantir, literally just to like advance the plot and thing. Being from a place that is a reflection of another place that kind of looks like the place but does other things different to that place means you can do a lot of weird like plot things, weird puzzle things, on and on and on. But I'm rambling. What do y'all think? Have we rolled it up? Are we playing it? Let me know in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you next time.